And welcome back to Let's Play Look Outside. Last time we cleared the fungus dungeon, and now we're ready to check out some other things in the apartment before we get to the point where, well, we can finish off the game. In fact, for a while now, we've been able to collect at least a few of the endings in the game, but now we're pretty rapidly running out of things to do besides get the endings. Now, before I rush to any conclusions, what I would like to do is take a quick look at some of our key items, because I've been kind of neglecting these, like I never use the radio. I wonder what happens if I use it here. Call on the radio? But you get no reply. Not surprising, not surprising. But the things I actually wanted to look at. First off, I didn't pay any heed to the manuscripts that we picked up. Also, I did not remark on the fact that we have Felipe's remains within our inventory. Taken from us too soon. There must be a way. As of the current version of the game, there is no way. Tragedy, tragedy. But there are also a couple of items we've grabbed so far that might be worth a second look. Now note the painting here. We grabbed this from Frederick's study, and if you remember, we grabbed the correct painting, the one that Frederick that actually painted that resulted in his predicament happening. However, you cannot interact with the painting, and despite what Frederick implies, you can't actually turn on the lights to his studio to view the painting while it is actually outside the canvas bag. A little bit disappointing. Let's take a closer look at those manuscripts that we picked up, though. You begin reading the manuscript. This seems like a noir detective story. You quickly flip through. Seems pretty normal. Okay, nothing too special there. Let's take a look at the crumpled manuscript, though. You quickly flip through. Seems like incoherent rambling. Just complete nonsense. Okay, nothing too useful there. But the real prize is the loose manuscript. You quickly flip through. It seems like a description of something. You don't read closely enough to discern what. Looks like the manuscript is complete. If you had not grabbed the additional pages from the typewriter, obviously you would not get this message, and the value of the manuscript would be considerably less because, as it is now, it is a worthwhile offering to Jasper. Something that will be coming important a little bit later. Now, before we get on to our business for this video, I do want to do a bit of crafting, and then I'll make a meal for our party. Also, one thing that I want to do is Fievel has been putting in good work for us, but we're gonna need a bit more convincing might for the upcoming battles. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have Fievel take 5, stay behind, and we are going to add Joelle back into the party. Fievel wanders up to the strange masked creature and you warily sniffs at the hem of its robe. The creature's mask turns to face the rat. The masked creature lifts the skirt of its robe just enough to create a small opening for the baby rat, as if to invite it inside. Fievel cocks its head and thinks for a moment before tiptoeing inside. The robe lowers behind it, and the baby rat disappears inside. For a moment, you hear nothing, then frantic skittering and chirping. The baby rat dashes out from beneath the robe and bolts across the room, quaking in fear. What could it have seen beneath the robe? Well, Fievel had a much better time of that than Sam did. Hey, Joelle, I know you're probably getting bored here. Let's add you back into the party. I'll get him equipped off screen, but yeah, I want to do some crafting real quick, then I'll make a meal for the team, and then we'll continue on to our business. I made a new combo there by combining vodka with the Pyrocare. We got 2 tonics, which is pretty good, honestly. When Dan finishes his meal, he gets up, leaving his plate on the table. Crumbs fall off his shirt. He burps loudly and flops onto the couch, onto a pile of his dirty clothes. You should really clean up around here. Thanks, Dan. Thanks. The bus that crashed in the apartment's foyer. Creatures spilled out and crawled all over the building. They're everywhere now. Those creatures were once people. You shower for about half an hour. And with that little bit of preparation done, now to get on to a piece of business that I've been holding on to for a while. That's right, returning to the parking garage. We've got several bosses to take out here, so it's best to get to work on them. There are a couple of goodies we can get for defeating them. First off, we have the monster car right here. Now this guy is a bit of a warm-up act for what's about to come. He's not too difficult, so if we just go with standard, strong tactics here, we should be able to take him out relatively quickly, do all our usual things, carve him, whatever. Let's see here, I'll just go for Teeth Storm here, why not? Even though it's a single target, it's still a very powerful move, especially with all the HP boosts that we have on Joelle, or not HP boost, but HP boost and attack boost that we have on Joelle. That thing uses its reckless driving. I'm not too concerned about that. We've just been absolutely bodying it. The bleed DOT was so low there just because I think we've chewed through most of its HP there. DOTs cannot kill enemies in this game. Joelle just ate that entire car. Go Joel, go Joel. Did not think you had that in you, buddy. Let me see. I think there's one other thing I forgot over here. I remember seeing a door, and I think you can actually go into this one. Yes, I completely forgot to go into this one. So I will grab the items in here. We've got another small key here. One thing that was asked of me on the Something Awful thread for this LP is if you can sell the small keys once you have the lockpicks, and the answer is yes. They sell for a decent little bit of money. I just haven't been desperate for cash, so I've kind of been forgetting about it. Next up, we have the police car. This guy is a bit more of a serious foe. Even gets the proper boss music. So we want to actually take things a little bit more seriously here. I'm actually going to start setting up roach DOTs there. Gonna get right into doing deep cuts to also max out bleeding, and Joel is gonna set up teething for the first time in a long while. Note that this guy is not too terrible or too difficult right at the start of the fight, but he will get a little bit more dangerous as the fight goes on. It's another one of those enemies that got buffed up considerably with the recent patches for the game. Here comes some reckless driving. Much more threatening than the previous guy's reckless driving, and very much I appreciate having the nitro boost effect in to hopefully mitigate some of the hits that are coming in, allowing us to just evade them altogether. Let's see, we'll just go for stabs on this guy, and we'll have Joel once again bust out the round saw jaws. How nice, how nice. Been a while since we've had Joel be able to throw out one of these. Get a single pistol shot going. Cop is bleeding horribly, stabs from the shadows. There is the round saw jaw. It's beautiful to see. Miss seeing that. Good damage, especially with the teething in effect. Okay, here comes another. Oof! The burning rubber is nasty. Yeah, this guy wasn't much of a threat in earlier versions of the game, but now he is actually putting in some pretty nasty damage. Let's see. Stab wasn't really doing that much, so I'm gonna go with cars instead. We'll see if another round saw jaw is necessary here. Jumping attack still doing pretty good damage. Not bad, not bad. Okay, and oof, yeah, the damage is good thing I spent some time crafting healing items, because we're gonna need that. Ooh, our crafting knife is damaged. That could be potentially dangerous, but I'm not overly concerned about that. Roaches is now level 10 and has Roach Shield. This is a new move that he picked up in I believe it was the last update, the 1.03 update. It will shield targets or your allies with a swarm of roaches. Costs quite a bit of his HP to do. I don't believe this is any more effective based on the roach DOT stacks he has on the enemies. Definitely a good idea to use some of our tonics here. We'll just go down the list, and we'll use a few bandages on Helen, since that's relatively more healing for her with her huge HP. Actually, also, probably a good idea for me to use some of my energy drinks here, at least on Sam. Joel, I'm not too concerned about that. He can stick to using Teeth Storm, and it's actually going to come in handy for this upcoming fight. He's lost his teeth, because we've got the SWAT van over here. Whoa, that's not what I wanted to do. Well, that was a waste of a turn. He opens up. Now, this is a fight that actually changed a bit, again, in the recent update. Originally, it was over fairly quickly, but it's been expanded a little bit, as of the 1.03 update to make it a little bit more interesting. We're just gonna have Joel use Teeth Storm, because even though there's one target, it's still the best on-demand damage he has. Honestly, it's looking even better than Round Saw Jaw after that got nerfed. Oh, love the damage from Helen. We are gonna have to be wary. Her combat knife might get destroyed, but what the? Help me. What's happening? Where are my friends? This is an element of the fight that I actually never saw before the 1.03 update, so I'm not sure if it just got added all together, or if it was just possible to kill the boss well before this ever happened, but it was my most recent playthrough before starting this LP that I actually ever saw this part of the fight, and that was, I got to this point after the updated drop. Anyways, we're going to want to use some multi-targeting attacks here, though I'm going to want to save my grenades for a little bit. I'm only going to use one here. I'm not too concerned about doing anything more with it. We'll keep aiming at the truck there. Helen, let's see. Would be nice if I had the machete on her instead. That would make a little bit more of a difference in this case. Teeth Storm is going to come in a lot more handy now. As you can see, the riot shield guy on the left there can protect the main body of the SWAT truck, so you gotta be mindful of that. He'll probably... Okay, he didn't eat the grenade damage there. Okay, yep, left tongue is down. We should have this fight in the bag at this point. Roaches is gonna take an aim shot at the SWAT truck. Yeah, and honestly, despite the fight being a little bit more complicated, these guys don't do too much more than what the fight originally did. I'm gonna have to remember to reload Roach's rifle after this battle is over. We'll just go for another Teeth Storm for Joel. Noticing that the cost of it gets a little bit lower as he uses it. It seems to be based on the percentage of his remaining HP. Alright, that wasn't too bad. Unfortunately, the SWAT truck, and the police car for that matter, don't give you anything interesting for defeating them, which is a bit disappointing. Now, we're definitely going to want to restore some of our energy reserves here. I actually don't care about Joel's energy specifically. I'm more mean health here. Let's use another tonic on Joel there, and then let's just bandage everyone going down. I spent a lot of disinfectants and combining them with cloths in order to make more bandages to help us out quite a bit here. Now, this area over here, a little bit freaky. Heading into this way, we can grab some gasoline and a pretty unique weapon, a flamethrower. Well, let's take a look at that. That is a gun, and honestly, I've never actually bothered to use this thing, but what the heck, let's throw it on the Roaches and see what he can do with it. Let's, also, what the? That is... You guys hear any music in the distance? Anyways, this is the Hellride, and it immediately starts off by blinding us, so, that's, no good for a couple of our characters, but it looks like most of us managed to avoid the worst of it. I'm going to, just, use a narrow flame burst on this thing, get a flame DOT going on it. Helen, you can stalk it to try and get more damage going against it. Joel, let's just have him go a bite on it. It's a bit in this, whoa! Not in the distance anymore. This thing's kind of freaking me out. It's just me, or is that music getting louder? Looks like it's got more than just a couple people packed in there. And the Hellride is unfortunately immune to fire, so kind of just hoist myself by my own petard by equipping that. Let's go for more reliable damage sources here. We'll have Roaches here throw some turpentine at it, since we've never really had an opportunity to use that. Let's have Helen stab it, and Joel, whoops, I actually meant for him to use Teeth Storm, but whatever, he can teeth as well. I'm sure that'll help out in due time. Throw some turpentine at it to make it a little bit more vulnerable. As you can see, turpentine is a lot less effective at non-paint-based enemies, but it still inflicts the acidity effect on them, so it is good for increasing your overall damage. We'll have Roaches throw a dinner plate at it, hopefully get the stun, have Helen keep stabbing it, and Joel, this time I want you to use Teeth Storm. There we go. A little bit better, and what the? The Hellride opens wide and swallows you. You find yourselves inside the fleshy interior of the Hell car. You hear moans of pain from all around you. Dozens of passengers have been crammed tightly inside and can barely move. You better get out of here fast. And yes, indeed, this fight becomes a timed battle. And conveniently, our attacks were not canceled there, so we immediately took out the passengers. Now we've got multiple pieces of the Hell car to take out: the wheel, the rear view mirror, and the wiper. Obviously what we want to do here is use our AoE attacks. Throw the grenades at it. We'll have Roaches do a wide flame burst at it. Helen will throw the remaining grenade, and Joel will use a Teeth Storm. And that should get us through this phase of the fight relatively quickly. Remember that grenades are about 80 damage, looks like, yeah, between 60 and 80 damage, so pretty good way to quickly clear out some of these guys. And ideally, the flamethrower will deal some pretty good damage there for us. And there we go. Somehow, you know where this car is taking you. This car is bound to hell. You need to get out. Now! And indeed, if we don't get out of this, we're going to be dragged to hell, so let's not even just mess around here. We want to do a narrow flame burst. We want to have Helen use her massacre on it. This is worth it. Joel will keep up with the Teeth Storms there. Yeah, do a nice jumping attack on it. Use a Teeth Storm on it. Get 63 damage there. Liquid fire. It's burning. And now Helen's going for the bloody rampage. The Hellmouth is slain. And we have escaped the Hellcar. If you know what you're doing, also, just an absolute load of tonics there. Amazing, amazing. If you know what you're doing, the Hell car is not too bad. If you don't know what you're doing, prepare to be dragged off to hell. Now, unlike the previous bosses, we do get a reward for defeating this guy, although not necessarily directly. It is possible to bait him into running out and getting past him in order to grab the reward in this area. A strange sword of teeth, flesh, and bone. You feel a heartbeat on the handle. Eyes flick open along the blade and study you for a moment. The sword seems pleased. It's beautiful. you find the Hell Sword. Well, Helen, I feel like the Hell Sword is just perfect for you. A slashing type weapon that also deals corruption damage, though it does lower your max HP and stamina. I think that's well worth the price of admission, though. And let's see, we'll have Helen salt the earth to get the fallow wheels off of her. Yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a debuff to Helen, but she has such high natural HP and stamina anyway. I'm not overly concerned about that. Have an energy drink, Helen. You'll look fine. You'll look fine. And that is the parking garage taken care of. But there are many, many other miscellaneous things for us to get to. One that is also just been hanging on in the background. The security room. We've been able to go into this for a while now. Now, there's an equal sign etched onto the handle, so if you have any basic puzzle-solving skills, you know that you just need to insert some discs that have values that add up to equal each other. The easiest way to do this is to put the Sun disc and the Pluto disc on one side, and then take the Neptune disc and the Mars disc on the other side. That'll add up to 18 equals 18, and we're good to go. Now, the reason I wanted to put off coming in here is because there is another locked door. This one specifically needs number 18 on it. Now, the Mars and Neptune combination can also be used here, but we only have one. If we didn't have the Neptune disc, we'd only have one set of 18 discs, and it would be this one here, Uranus, and the negative disc. And I think 18 equals 18 is the only combination you can make outside that allows you to still get in and open this door. The negative disc, there is a way to determine this, but the negative disc is minus 10. So take minus 10 off the 28 of the Uranus disc. There you go, you can get in. Inside here is the weapon storage room. Remember that dead body with a note about the guns in the basement? Well, we're finally following up on this. We get some grenades here to replace the ones that we've lost. We get some duct tape, an item that surprisingly I have not gotten any of at this point in the game. Duct tape can be used to repair broken items, bringing it back to... Oh, I actually did have a duct tape. I'm not sure where I got this. I must have just forgot to comment on it. Regardless, duct tape can be used to repair broken items, like our valuable sewage blade, and like our chipped combat knife, bringing that back up to full fighting fitness. We also have another combat knife over here. Very good, very good. So let's have Sam take one of those combat knives. Just one of the best one-handed weapons in the game. Scalpel is also pretty good, but as you can see, very poor accuracy. Not a drawback I want to deal with when I'm using the already inaccurate jump attack. We also get the flak jacket, one of the defensively the most powerful pieces of equipment in the game. A considerable defense boost over the studded jacket, though I don't like the general stat decrease, so I don't really use it on anyone. I kind of prefer just keeping the studded jacket. No, I've had some feetwear that I can put on Helen, yeah. Helen, you can kick stuff now, if you so desire. No pressure, no pressure. Now over here, some submachine gun bullets, and the submachine gun special. This is a more powerful submachine gun that's about on par with the pistol in terms of damage. Actually, with the cowboy hat and trench coat, it's a little bit better for Roaches there. Why do I have no accessories on him? Let's give him the laser sight mount, and let's give him the ruby ring, I guess. Did I clear his stuff earlier? That's weird. Whatever the case. Yeah, that's a pretty powerful weapon. The submachine gun special has a couple of cool skills. SMG burst fires 4 bullets with it, and spray and pray fires 8 shots that are slightly inaccurate. Still, combined with the laser sighting, the 8 shots crit pretty frequently, and it's essentially like firing 8 pistol shots at once. Very good. Like firing off the pistol, though, the shots are randomly distributed, so it's not consistent AoE against multiple targets. It's best used against single targets to deal huge damage to them. Just taking my disc back for later. Now, heading into here... That guy seems enraptured by whatever is on the television there. We've got some money to grab here, some $20 and some coins. Inside the trash can we get a cola can, pretty nice, and this note. Jean-Pierre, we're out of blank tapes. Get some from the convenience store. This cash should cover it. Well, we're just gonna take the tape once we do get to the convenience store, but that will come later. Now, what I want to do, first off, let's just walk forward and see what happens here. Security feed on the TV did something horrible to the security guard on that chair. best not to be in eye shot of the TV while the feed is on. For all the ways that you can have Sam stupidly kill himself, like pointing a telescope outside and looking into it, this is the one time he'll actually display some degree of self-preservation. So, yeah, you're not going to be able to get yourself killed this way. In order to deal with this, you're going to have to cut the security feed. And with that taken care of, we've got another battle ahead of us. Stay back. You are not allowed here. This is the Panopticon. What's left of the security guard, I suppose. We're not going to bother setting up Nitro Boost, because this guy's not too threatening. We're just going to go to town and take him out as quickly as possible. Let's see here. We'll use Stab with the Hell Sword. We'll have Joelle just use another Teeth Storm on him. Don't feel like setting up teething to get the most out of... Whoa, nice, Helen. Yeah, she is very much appreciating that, what is it, the Hell Sword right now. Pretty good damage to her, damage boon to her. And here we go with just so many bullets being thrown at the Panopticon. Quite a few crits coming through due to the laser sight. Nice stuff, nice stuff. One funny thing about the SMG special, there's a slight bug with it where you can't actually fire spray and pay when you have exactly 8 bullets left. For some reason, it won't let you do that. Do another stab there. Joelle is getting low on HP, so what we're gonna have him do is just toss a dinner plate at this thing and see if it stuns it. Unfortunately, this guy is pretty resistant to slash damage. Now it's done there, but that's okay. The stab takes him out. Now, the reason I wanted to take that guy out very quickly is you saw he was recording Helen there. That allows him to copy the action that a character takes at the end of his turn. And it can be quite buggy depending on who he decides to copy. If he happens to copy just the wrong skill, he can potentially crash the game. Now, we've got the video feed over here, and if you remember, I believe it was Beryl was looking for a recording of the outside. However, we have no way of knowing if the security feed is actually still trained on the outside, and we can't actually look at it to record it with this tape recorder over here if we don't know what the feed is, or rather, if we don't look at it to see what the feed is. Huh. If only there was some way, someone, or something that could watch it for us so we could know that we had the right feed. I'm gonna play with Cinnamon while I think about this conundrum. We're just gonna have to come back to this later. One other dangling loose end is this door in the utility room right here. The door is locked electronically. The number 16 is etched onto the handle. Well, conveniently, we just so happen to have a disc that is exactly at the 16 value here to slot on in and get into this door right here. And beyond this door, we find a frozen room with this fellow right here, Argot. Argot's not anyone too threatening, so I'm not going to take him too seriously, although maybe I should. We're just going to go all in on our best offensive options right from the jump. Let's see, Joel, throw a gas bomb at it to see if you can stun it. Joel's been having bad luck with that, but we'll have him take a honest crack at it. And indeed, even if the stun dissipates after a single turn, it's still worth it to inflict it, because it will cancel their action for the turn that it comes into effect. Roaches is having some pretty bad luck with spray and pray there. There we go. And he's still stunned, so that works out pretty good for us. Yeah, as you can see, Spray and Pray is not in the skill list anymore for some reason. I'm not sure why it disappears, but it just does. Let's see. We'll just have Joelle do a normal attack here. Teeth Storm's not going to deal too much damage, and Helen just stabs him out anyway. With that taken care of, now there's an elixir behind the ice block there, but we don't have any ice salt yet. Where could we possibly get some? Well, that's just another thing that we're going to have to think about while we address other things. Now, there are other side quests that I could take care of within the scope of this video, but I'd rather save them for another one. So, I think it's actually time to set up for our first ending, and we will be seeing it within the confines of this video. Before we can do that, though, I think it's time to do something very special that we could have done throughout the entire game, but you know what, since we're setting up to end it anyway, why not take care of it all in one fell swoop? Throughout the game, we've met a variety of NPCs, and we've always had that tempting option there, just to attack them. Kill them, take everything that's theirs, and make it ours. Now, we demonstrated this with Eugene, who, for the record, is back and restored to his usual self in this file, so we're gonna leave him be, because we already know what we can get from him, but instead we're going to attack everyone else. Now, the astrologists or the astronomers rather, I get those mixed up all the time, not really somebody you want to attack, since well, it locks you out of endings if you kill even one of them. But that is neither here nor there. We're just gonna do it for the heck of it. We're gonna stab him, we're gonna have Joelle try to eat him, he bites on down. This guy is quite vulnerable to being eaten. Helen stabs from the shadow, and Jesus Creases, Helen, go easy on him. Roaches is level 11 and learned a brand new skill from the previous patch. He's learned acid arrows. Let me just take a look at that. I just was caught off guard by the guy just collapsing into a robe. Shoots enemy with an acid. Deals more damage the more roach swarms the target has. We finally got his first skill that scales with roaches, and it's probably going to disappear from his skill list next time we get to use him in combat. Anyway. I know I helped you out, Gene, but I'm deciding to just completely undo that little bit of goodwill there and just kill you in short order. I feel a little bad, but not completely terrible. Sorry, Gene, you're going down, and anything you have is now mine, even though I already took everything that you had. Let's just take a look at her body here, and she is down for the count. At least her central nervous system survives. Unless I decide to kill it. Joelle just ate that thing in its entirety. Go Joelle. Go Joelle. It's a good thing I had that spare thing of duct tape, because the Hell Sword actually managed to get wounded in that fight, which is rather annoying considering we just got it. Oh well, not everything can go perfectly. Now we have potentially more of a real fight here, because if it goes on long enough, something rather undesirable for me happens. So I'm going to try and smash down Lyle as quickly as possible. To that end, I'm actually going to have Joelle throw our last turpentine at him to try and get a little bit more damage onto him before he has a chance to go all the way into his next phase of the battle. We'll have Roaches fire the submachine gun, spray and pray at him. Unfortunately, we won't be able to use spray and pray once the next part of the fight begins because he will bust out his photo. I saw this picture I took of you. Maybe it's time I let it develop. Now, if you want to get that photo taken care of quickly, oh, he's already dead. Never mind. He's not supposed to die like that so quickly. He's supposed to be immortal until his second phase starts. At least that's what the 1.03 patch notes claim. But no, you can still kill him well before the second phase of the fight begins. And that's okay, because I didn't want to see that anyway. One thing that's unique about killing Lyle is that if we do kill him, we get his darkroom key and can enter his darkroom. Now, if you wasted your photo paper on developing the wrong thing, you can get spare paper from here. We've also got some developing fluid with developer and fixer here to develop a photograph, presuming we actually had one. We don't, though, so we'll have to move on from this. Boy, Frederick, do I have some bad news for you. I just don't care anymore. Here comes the attack. We're just gonna go all in on Frederick, spray and pray, stab, bite. Oh, it's just an absolute massacre here. After we went through so much effort to help him, Faceless Fred has been slain. Well, actually, we destroyed his face. Whatever, he's down for the count. Hey Aurelius, it's been a while since we've seen you, and I haven't really thought about you in a while, so I'm just here to kill you real quick to make sure to let you know I haven't completely forgot about you. Helen has got a pretty cool trick she can do with the sword. Check this out. Yeah, awesome, right? Aurelius? Aurelius? Oh, God! Eugene, duct tape, and a lot of it. 4 sounds good to me. Mutz is pretty light on people that we can actually kill, since most of them do not actually go into the combat screen, so there is not really much havoc that can be wreaked with inside the fish and chips parlor. However, Emmanuel here, well, we can just attack him no problem. Whoa, what? What gives? Well, I just didn't like the look of your face, so I'm taking you out of this world. Now, SMG burst, have a stab from Helen, and Joelle just go for a quick bite. Oh, never mind. Sam was vicious with that one. Went right for the jugular, and we get a free crown of fingers for doing that. What does that do for us? Well, if you equip it, you get not very good stats, honestly, but you have a 30% chance to inflict confusion with your normal attacks. I don't really care for that, so I'm not going to equip it. Jasper, I've decided I don't trust you, so I'm just going to take you out real quick. Let's go for some jump attacks, as usual. I think a spray and pray is worth it against Jasper. We'll stab, we'll bite. It's all the usual things. Ha! Nice dodge there, Jasper. Oh my goodness, Helen, leave some for the rest of us. Goodness gracious. Also, with Jasper's death, we have just locked ourselves off from almost every single ending in the game. Go us, go us. Beryl, I've got some bad news about your friends. Don't worry though, you'll be joining them very, very soon, assuming Helen actually leaves a little bit for the rest of us. Maybe. Go for a little quick bite from Joel there. No. Roaches is just eager to unload into these people, but Helen is just taking them out way before he gets a chance to. Musette, hello. Can I have some soup? Musette, the soup is awful! You're going to have to die, I'm afraid. Okay, taking her out. Let's just go for everything and anything. Everything, including the kitchen sink. And by kitchen sink, I mean a stab from the Hell Sword. Yeah, there we go. Musette is down. And you know what? We're just gonna get into it with everybody here. As you can see, they are all hostile now. Yeah, they are none too pleased with us taking out Musette there. So, it's just going to be a complete free-for-all here. We'll have, Roaches do a spray and pray, we'll have Helen just attack, and we'll have Joel, of course, finally get a chance to use a Teeth Storm here. The grenade should deal pretty good damage there. And then Helen, unfortunately, whiffs entirely. Joel hits with the Teeth Storm, there goes Robert. Also, there goes the delightful sound of Robert's guitar music, I'm afraid. Over here, we've got the poker players, who are ready to throw down, or perhaps just keep playing their game. Fortunately, I've got a grenade for them to really spice things up. You guys ever play Russian roulette with a grenade? There's not usually a survivor in that situation. Anyway, grenade coming out. Sorry, it's what was it? The French Lit class? Yeah, sorry, we didn't really bond that much over that. Good shot, Joel. Kid's a natural at murder. There we go, Carlos is slain. And then next up, we've got Placid over here. Whoop. Okay, never mind. We didn't really have Placid over there. Hey, Laughing Mold, how's it going? These guys are a good crowd. They haven't booed me yet. And they won't ever boo you ever again. Uh-oh. I almost feel kind of bad now. And just for that reason. Can't even take their chips. Oh well, that's every innocent person in the game killed. Whoops, I almost forgot about you. How could I forget about you, Steve? We're gonna just take you out real quick. By the way, it was pointed out to me that Steve is more than likely a silverfish and not a roach. My bad. I am not exactly familiar with many different varieties of insects, so you'll have to be forgiving with me there. He is quite dangerous, as you can see. Oof, that is some serious damage. We've actually picked a pretty tough guy to go up against here, and he's really resistant to damage from that as well. Unfortunately, roaches will probably miss most of these shots due to the blinding, but we'll go with it anyway, just to see if we can't keep that. Ooh, here comes some more silverfish stuff. Okay, hey, it actually just tells you right out that he's a silverfish. Okay, that makes it a lot easier for me. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna have Sam use eye drops on roaches. We're gonna have roaches go for a spray and pray. Well, actually, okay, I should have reloaded the gun. He's not gonna be able to go for it. And Joel, throw a dinner plate, or rather, throw a gas bomb at this guy. Yeah, he's kicks and his ooh. He actually stunned Joel preemptively. That's a bit unfortunate for us. But now Roaches is immune from blinding. And oh, come on! Why does that thing keep getting wounded? That is ridiculous. Regardless, that was a bit more of a compelling fight, but we defeated him no problem. That's also a good demonstration. You should probably give that guy your bandages when you encounter him. Anyways. Alright, with that all taken care of, well, there's not really anything left for us to do. We locked ourselves out of all possible endings in the game due to our bloodlust, so the only thing really left to do is to kill 8 days until maybe the end comes. So, what I'm mostly going to be doing here is I'm going to be playing crosswords. I'm going to be playing them for 4 hours at a time, answering the door anytime it gets a knock, but otherwise just doing crosswords to idle the days away, or idle the time away and the days away. And checking the news and social media periodically. If we run out of crosswords, then we can switch over to playing video games. But yeah, I'm just gonna do a supercut of anything that interesting that happens while I'm wasting the days away. Right away, we get a knock at the door. It's a hefty man wearing a hood standing in front of the door. He's carrying a bunch of bags. Potato sacks? This guy here, hi, I'm selling food. You want any? Open up and we can trade. Yes, this is the food trader. I don't really care to buy anything from him. There's quite a few traders that we have not seen yet. He doesn't know much about what's happening, but he's been keeping away from windows. I feel ya. So let's get down to business. Would you like some food? Well, actually, you know what? We can attack him. Yes, there is still more people for us to attack here. Jump attack. Let's go for a SMG first, a stab, and Joel can attempt to eat him. Yeah, the food trader will not be much of a... Oh my goodness, Joel did actually eat him. Oh boy. The kid's ravenous, but we get a ton of food for killing him. Okay, and let's go grab our reward from Shadow. Seems to have a gift for you, and we get a Puro Care. Alright, let's go take a shower real quick. You know, we could really use it to wash the blood off of us. Think about the game you've been playing, Super Jump Lad. You loved that game as a kid. Maybe it would cheer you up to finish it again after so many years. You shower for about half an hour. Okay, so that's actually something I wanted to check. Not only does Placid not have a proper encounter, killing him does not actually rob you of hot water. I was hoping that would be the case, so it would be like karmic retribution. Whatever the case. News and social media for the day. Spent some time browsing news sites. Nothing new or interesting today. A knock at the door has disturbed us. Hey, it's the pizza guy. I'm just gonna tell him to buzz off. On to social media. Spent some time browsing social media. One internet micro-celebrity previously known for being friendly and wholesome now posts nothing but long, unhinged description of horrible things they would do to anyone who still refuses to look outside. One person says they looked outside and saw God. They attach a picture, but it just looks like solid black on your end. Social media makes you feel a bit less alone, but it can be a bit stressful. Hi, how are you doing today? I get such terrible sleep now. The dreams. I think I told you about them. How I feel like I'm falling into a pit of swirling colors? I look through the colors at these little points of light. They look like stars, and I reach out for them, but they're not stars. They're eyes. Sometimes I see men. 3, 4, 5 men? I can't tell who they are, but they seem familiar. I don't know, Sam. I haven't got much sleep in a while. I'm sorry. So what's new? Anything interesting's happened since we last spoke? Sorry, I spaced out for a second. I should try to get some sleep. Stay safe out there, Sam. Talk to you later. You reach the second level of crosswords. It's still easy enough to be completed by a child, but a few unusual words occasionally slip in. You hear a knock at the door. It's just the medical trader. I will tell her to buzz off. Another knock on the door interrupts my crosswords. They're knocking pretty frantically. Hello? Who's this? A group of leather-clad punks is standing outside your door. One is carrying another on their back. What will you do? Hello there. Hi, a little help? My friend's exhausted. We just need a place to rest. We won't be here for too long. Will you open the door? Sure, I see no reason not to help them. I'm Xaria, and this guy on my back is Monty. Can you let us crash here for a while? We just need a bed and a bit of time. Oh, sure, you can stay tonight. Thanks. We'll be out of your hair soon. Well now, interestingly, if we invite them in, the door to our room is locked, and if we knock, the door unlocked. Hey, thanks for letting us use your room. We're just gonna make it a little cozier. Here's a pillow. The couch looks comfy enough. And yes, Xaria and Monty have just commandeered our room. Now, Xaria and Monty are a very interesting pair of characters, and I do place emphasis on pair. If you add them to your party, you have to bring both of them. You do not have an option to bring one or the other. Xaria has a bunch of skills that revolve around moshing and freaking out. They'll frequently berserker and cause her to do nothing but launch physical attacks at the enemy, but she can make it so that the rest of your party can take multiple turns per round of combat. Very useful. Xaria does have pretty low HP and defenses to compensate for that. She also comes with the unique paintball gun, Chill Touch, a gun that Monty will create paintballs for every single night. She gets 10 paintballs a day, so she technically has ammo for as long as the game lasts. Monty has a bunch of skills revolving around his brews. He'll make a brew every single day, and it'll allow him to use a variety of skills that do stuff like inflict fire damage, inflict acid damage, and do just big damage in general. But he can only do them if he has the brews to perform them. He can also create more brews in battle, which is a pretty interesting thing, although it's quite buggy. If he fails to create a brew, he might sometimes create a usable item that gives you less than it says it does. It'll only ever give you one, and his skills in battle consume more brews than they're supposed to. They're supposed to only consume one brew, but many times they'll consume up to 3 or 4 of them. Let's talk to our new characters now. Hey, man. What do you want, dude? How you doing? Whatever, man. I'm just gonna chill here if you're done talking to me. Can you guys keep it down? Huh? Keep what down? What do you think will happen? What, the stuff going on outside? Oh, man. And how do you know Xaria? We go to the same art school. We're in a band called Brutal Wizard. I'm the drummer. And, did you look outside? Nah. So, is that just a burn wound on your face then, Monty? Yeah? What is it? So, how you doing? Leave me alone. I'm busy. Oh, I'm sorry, repeated that one. What do you think will happen? Gonna be some tough times for a while. This is the kind of environment people like Monty and I thrive in. I need my room back? Okay, that's cool. We'll give it back tomorrow. Thank you. Yeah, whatever. What's the deal with that guy? Ooh, juice box? I don't know. Where did he come from? I don't know. We invited him. I'm not actually sure what they're talking about here. Can you tell him to leave? No, why don't you? Is he okay? Sure, he's cool. What's it to ya? And never mind. And, did you look outside? Not a chance. Not gonna be another follower. I do what I want. I don't follow the herd. Sure you don't. Okay. Who the heck is Juicebox? Poster for some kind of metal band. Catatonic Hell Wizard. Poster for some kind of metal band. Apocalypse Cannibal. And finally, poster for some kind of metal band. Sinister Blood Cadaver. Sounds like a theme here. Betty, what do you think of the stuff I put up with? Well, that's neither here nor there. Now that Xaria and Monty have moved in, we have been forced to move to the couch, which we can just sleep on like our bed. And there goes Monty crafting 10 paintballs, and Monty brewing a Monty special for himself to use in battle. Guys, can you turn that music down? I'm trying to browse social media here. A few rather alarming posts, often with photos of witnesses showing the horrible things they've done to cowards, with accompanying pictures. The pictures are, of course, illegible noise. Social media makes you feel a bit less alone, but it can be a bit stressful. I'm gonna have to go to a quieter place to talk to Sylvia. Or not Sylvia, Sybil. Sorry, I was playing No More Heroes recently. Good morning. How are you doing today? I don't want to sound morbid, Sam. I hope you don't feel this way, but I'm starting to lose hope. It's been more than a week now. 2? I've lost track of how long it's been. Things aren't getting better. They're only getting worse. I'm starting to think that things won't get better. Things will get better, Sybil. You just have to believe. Maybe. Maybe we can rebuild, but the horror that people are experiencing, that we're experiencing, I don't know. Feels like every moment that passes, another door closes. On humanity ever bouncing back from this. It's like the Black Plague, but a million times worse. So what's new? Anything interesting happened since we last spoke? Well, I'll talk to you later. I hope. Goodbye, Sam. Sybil does not seem to be taking to the ongoing developments very well. A pallid woman in a strange frumpy robe looks around furtively at your door. Her hands clasp and unclasp every few moments. What will you do? Hello. Please, I need your help. Have you seen a little girl? Will you open the door? I'm Harriet, and I live with my daughter on the 2nd floor. I left Sophie at home while I went out looking for food. I got lost on the 1st floor, and when I got back, she was gone. Have you seen her? Yes, I have! She's here! Oh, thank God! Mom, you're here! Thank you so much for protecting her. I can't believe it! Thank you! Here, please. It's not much, but please take this. I want you to have it. And we receive an elixir, 2 first aid kits, and 4 tonics. Beautiful stuff. Listen, if you never need any help, anything, we're at apartment 22. And thank you again. Now, unfortunately, Sophie and Harriet's apartment is not implemented in the current versions of the game. I'm sure you're getting sick of hearing me saying that. You can go to apartment 22, and if you've met Harriet, it will be updated to let you know that it's where Harriet and Sophie live, but you can never actually open it. You can knock on the door, but they'll never answer, regardless of whether or not you've reunited them. Also, obviously, turning Sophie over to Harriet, well, the correct thing to do means we can never use Sophie ever again, so you have to decide if those healing items are worth it, which they probably are, because Sophie is not a very good character. Note that there is another way that event can possibly go. A hefty man is standing in front of the door. He's carrying a bunch of bags? Potato sacks? What will you do? Hey, didn't I kill you? Get out of here! The man hoists his heavy sack over his shoulder and heads off down the hallway. So yes, even if you kill a vendor, that does not stop them from coming back. Hey, another new vendor at the door. A man in modified football gear stands in front of the door. He rests a baseball bat over his shoulder. What will you do? Well, hello, good sir. Got too much stuff. Sports gear, weapons, whatever. I'll trade. You buying? Yes, we'll open the door for the sports trader. Hey, yo, got a bunch of sports stuff here. This guy will sell various melee weapons to you. You chaffer a little bit. He says he's seen a bunch of nasty creatures on the way here. He whacked a couple with his bat. Any of this stuff look good to you? Very lightly used. Well, let's take a closer look at what he's trading here. And what he has is, let's see, granola bar, energy drinks, not bad. He got baseball cap, a headband. The more interesting stuff he sells is he sells stuff like the bicycle helmet, the padded jacket, and the football helmet. This guy actually has a very limited range of items he can sell. I believe the only item he can otherwise sell, well, actually, I think there might be a two. You can sell metal bats, and you can sell hockey helmets. Also, just to go over it before I forget, if you're curious for how much the small keys sell for, let's see, they're the simple keys, $20 each, so not bad. We'll sell them off, because what the heck, I'm not going to use it. Hey, thanks! Stay safe out there. A lot more unhinged nonsense on social media today. Posts in general are less and less coherent. Hello, how are you doing today? Hey Sam, what'd you want to be when you grew up? You know, I kinda just wanted to be, let's say astronaut. That sounds amazing, being up there in the stars. I've been thinking about it recently, but I can't remember. It's like everything that happened before this. It's all been wiped out of my brain. I get these images of the sky in my head. Or maybe I wanted to be a pilot or something, or a meteorologist. Just look at the sky all day, all the stars, like an astronomer. Sorry, that was weird. So what's new? Anything interesting's happened since we last spoke? I wonder what the stars will look like tonight. Can people still see them out there? Sorry. I'll talk to you later, Sam. Hey, I remember this guy. A very haggard young man. He's shivering and coughs intermittently. What will you do? Well, I see no reason to turn him away. Medical help. Do you have any supplies? For sure, for sure. Now, this guy can have a variety of things he asks for, at random. I'm William. I got into a bit of trouble. He was bitten by a monster 2 days ago. Couldn't find any disinfectant. Now it's too late. The wound has festered and he feels very sick. He hopes you might have some supplies to help him. Let me see here. Let's see what I got. So he's got an infection. Maybe he could use some medication? No, actually, wait, disinfectant, I bet. Not sure that will help me, sorry. Let's see. If you give him the wrong thing, you get a second chance to look for other things. Medication! Perfect! Thank you. Might have saved my life. Let me give you $120 for the help. Nice, nice. You've had to scroll for several minutes to find anything coherent at all to read today, and most of it was ads posted by bots. A few remaining humans also make resigned messages. Somehow, finding bots still posting their worthless ads feels like a relief. Social media makes you feel a bit less alone, but it can be a bit stressful. Alright, before we get to our discussion with Sybil today, a hairy, dirty, odd-looking man mumbles to himself at the door. You can almost smell him from the peephole. What will you do? Hello? I'm out of food. You got anything to spare, buddy? Will you open the door? For sure. Why can't we help this guy out? Hey, I'm Ernest. Had to leave him home. Got too dangerous. I'm just looking for some food. Can you help? Well, sure, we can give you some food. How about a chicken sandwich? Give a chicken sandwich. Thanks, buddy. You're a lifesaver, you know that? Now that is one of the party members in the game, Ernest. He will not join you right away, but he has a chance to show up multiple times throughout your playthrough. Although, as you can see, we are 4 days out from the ending of the game, so sometimes he can get unlucky and he shows up way too late to be of any use. But you have to give him food. If you try to invite him all too often, he'll just reject you. I'm not sure how many times you have to feed him. We might have to feed him a couple times before he's willing to join us. Anyway. Hi, how are you doing today? I haven't slept for more than 10 minutes in a week now. I think. The dreams feel so real. The swirling colors in the eye, I feel like I'm tumbling down a never-ending pit of colors. And the men who watch me, 4 men. I see them sometimes, even when I'm not asleep. I close my eyes and they're there. I can't run away. I always fall into the hole. I'm sorry. The lack of sleep is, I don't know, I'm getting a little kooky. Sorry. So, what's new? Anything interesting happened since we last spoke? Goodbye, Sam. I'm going to, I don't know, sit around all day, I guess. Stew in fear and misery. I'm kidding, of course. Take care. You reach the advanced level crosswords. The words are getting quite complex, and you find yourself consulting the thesaurus more frequently. Thesaurus? Thesaurus? Honestly, I don't think I've ever heard that word said out loud too often. I might have just made a complete ass of myself. Only nonsense and bots today. Social media makes you feel a bit less alone, but it can be a bit stressful. Hi, how are you doing today? To be honest, I can barely even remember anything about the outside anymore. It's weird. Just a week ago I was yearning to go back outside, but now it's like I can't even remember it. Like this is my whole life. Is it like that for you too? I just can't wait to go back out. Yeah. I felt that way for a while, but it's like Forgot what's even out there. This apartment, and you, are my whole world now. So, what's new? Anything interesting happened since we last spoke? Bye, Sam. Be safe out there. Don't look outside. Please? Hey, Ernest has come back. A hairy, dirty guy. Is this Ernest? You gave him food before. Hey, Ernest, how's it going? It's old Ernest again. Got any spare food? Well, let's open the door and let's extend an invitation. Can you spare any more food? I ran out again. What if you came inside? I don't know. I've been tricked before. I'd rather not come in. So, yeah, he's not willing yet, but perhaps if we give him a ham sandwich. Thanks, buddy. You're a lifesaver. You know that? So, we're getting pretty lucky with the encounters with him this late into the game when it's almost over. Social media, like the news, has stopped updating, so there's not really any reason to check it anymore. We are close to the end of the game, though. Just 2 more days to go. This has just been a complete montage of cuts, this video. Anyways, Sybil. Hello, how are you doing today? What if we're wrong? What if we're supposed to look outside? Hey, Sybil, don't think like that. Absolutely do not. I won't. I'm too committed to not looking. But what if the changes people undergo? It's kind of like a caterpillar transforming into a butterfly. What if these people are shedding their humanity for something greater? Do they seem greater to you? No, I don't think so. They seem insane and monstrous. Maybe we shouldn't look outside. Sorry, I think I'm just rambling. I haven't slept in a long, long time. So what's new? Anything interesting happened since we last spoke? I'm sorry about earlier. I'm just tired. I won't look outside. Goodbye. Hey, we have reached the expert level crosswords. The words are exclusively obscure now, and very many are used only scientifically. Hey, it's William again, a very haggard young man. He's covered in nasty wounds and is clutching at a painful-looking gash. Well, maybe we should help him out. So, we'll open the door and see what supplies he needs this time. I got into a bit of trouble. He tells a story about fighting off multiple creatures on lower floors and getting badly wounded. He's in pretty rough shape. He needs some supplies to treat these wounds. Well, conveniently, we have an excess of first aid kits at this point, so why don't you take one of these? Perfect, that's what I needed. And another $120 for helping out William. Don't you just feel good about that? Hi, how are you doing today? Something feels different today. I can't explain it, but it feels like something momentous and final is about to happen. I feel strangely sad, Sam. So, what's new? Anything interesting happened since we last spoke? Will we talk later? I don't know. Something feels different. Goodbye, Sam. Why'd you say that like it was going to be the last time we ever spoke? Anyways, I would just like to say that I've been doing nothing but playing crosswords for the remainder of the days that I've been idling away, and none of my social stats seem to have gone down. I have not developed poor hygiene. I have not developed hunger. Obviously, I haven't developed tiredness because I've just been turning in early to advance the days, but it's kind of funny how none of my stats seem to be going down. Hey, it's Ernest again. A hairy, dirty guy. Is this Ernest? You gave him food before. What will you do? Hello. It's old Ernest again, and let's open up the door. And if you give him 2 sandwiches, he should be ready to join you. Can come in? Sure. I think I can trust you. And we've got Ernest, the smelly old hobo, and look, he comes with a little rat, Colonel Squeakum. Let's talk to Ernest over here. Oh, fancy running into you here. What can old Ernest do for you? Let's talk to him and see what he's wanting. Everyone wants a piece of old Ernest's time. How you doing? Old Ernest is feeling great. I haven't felt this well rested in years. Too bad about the whole outside thing, huh? Are you homeless, Ernest? Only in the most technical sense. See, my home got taken over by carpenter ants the size of cats who would chomp a man's leg in half. So old Ernest's been squatting in this here building for a while. You understand. What do you think will happen? I don't have a good feeling about this. My elbow is all creaky. That only happens when something big's about to go down. And, did you look outside? Heck no. I've seen some wackadoos and dingbats who looked outside. These are the end times, buddy. Can't say he's wrong. Now, I actually don't know what Ernest is fully capable of, because a lot of stuff about this game is not super well documented at this point, and Ernest is by far the most difficult party member in the game to recruit. You need him to show up randomly at your house 3 times, and the first 2 times you need to have adequate food items to give him in order to build trust with him. So it is very, very difficult to ever recruit Ernest in a normal playthrough. This is actually only my 2nd time getting him, so, and every time I've gotten him, I've already defeated basically every enemy in the game, so I had no way to level him up to actually get a good idea of what his skills are. Yeah, it's pretty frustrating to get Ernest. I think he could use a bit of a rework, honestly. Now, if you decide to sleep before the last day is up, If there's anything I want to do before this nightmare ends, now might be my last chance. But I think we're ready to sleep. Is this really going to be all over when I wake up tomorrow? It's now early morning. This is it. 15 days have passed. Is it really over? Well, we're just going to walk by Xaria and Monty. Hey! Where's Sybil? Well, I guess it's neither here nor there, but... So, is it safe to look outside? Let's do it. The outside world is... unrecognizable. Well, I guess there's nothing left to do but go out and get acquainted with the new world. Everybody, let's go outside. That's it then. Time to leave and see what outside is like. Over the course of 15 days, the world, as you know it, ended. The cataclysm is over, but the nightmare is only beginning. The true death toll can never be known, but more than 2/3 of humanity is wiped out in half a month. Of the few that remain, most are transformed in grotesque ways. Those known as the Cursed are so heavily warped as to no longer be recognizable as human. The most terrible consequences of the disaster, however, are the 100 gods. 124 gargantuan monsters. Highly intelligent and powerful, utterly inhuman in body and soul. It's estimated that they alone are responsible for 1/10 of the disaster's original death toll. Some believe them to be humans who won the cursed lottery, gaining powers many orders of magnitude above the others. Others think they are alien overlords left behind the cataclysm. The 100 gods are the tyrants of the new world, and their follower cults become the closest thing to government. Rebuilding a semblance of society under the Iron Fist rule of the 100 gods is slow. Some of the cursed are lucky, retaining portions of their human sanity, but are plagued with terrible after effects. Depression, paranoia, and psychosis are common. Their integration into society is a challenge. Medicine is now in very short supply, and often has unexpected results on their strange new biology. Nobody ever truly understands what happened. There are so many mysteries, and the new world is overwhelming. Few have the energy to look back. Though, one mystery in particular still eats at you. Many completely vanished on the final night of the disaster. Your neighbor Sybil was among them. The door to her home was left open. An enormous hole marks the outer wall, as if something reached down from the sky and plucked her away. What really became of her? Now, this is a question that is left by a couple of the game's endings. However, there is, as of the most current version of the game, no definitive answer for it. I do have a theory about the truth about Sybil, and I'm sure some people watching along have a similar theory, but I cannot say for certain that it is correct. Regardless, that is the first ending, to look outside, and obviously a fairly negative one. Would you believe me if I told you most of the other ones we can get are even worse than that? Well, that is the case. There is in fact only one unambiguously positive ending of the game, and it's about as weird as you'd expect from a game like this, but it is going to be quite a bit longer before we get that. Now, before we actually continue on with the game proper and get a real quote-unquote ending where we turn in the offerings to try and make a commune with the visitor, we are going to be winding back the clock a little bit and getting probably the second worst ending in the game, as well as far and away the least satisfying. However, we're going to be doing it in a very, very particular way. When I say winding the clock back, I mean very, very far back. Before we get to that, and before I elaborate on what I mean by that, we've got one more thing I'd like to do in this video, and this one's going to be cut down quite a bit, because there was just a lot of me sitting around playing crosswords. when you get to the end of Look Outside, you do get a little Resident Evil style ranking. You are ranked on how many people you recruited, how many days you beat the game in, how many points you had, and how many bosses you defeated, as well as a multiplier applied for your difficulty mode. Even though I got the worst ending in the game and didn't have any days remaining, because I defeated so many bosses and recruited so many characters, I still got a perfect triple X score. Note that this score counter used to be bugged for normal mode. It would never, at least for me, it never displayed past 1160, and you always got a C ranking. Thankfully, that's recently been fixed. Now to move on to the one last thing I'd like to show in this video. Yes, we need to see what happens if we fail to get out of the hell car. To that end, I'm just going to sandbag against the commuters and let myself get defeated here. Hell is approaching. You are soon entering hell. The ride has taken you to hell. And unfortunately, it's kind of unceremonious, but there is an achievement, as you can see from the corner of my window there, for getting taken to hell by the hell car. And yes, instant game over if you get taken to hell, as you'd probably infer. Now, like I said, we're going to be winding the clock back quite a bit. In fact, we are going to be starting an entirely new game, and we are going to be completing the game in a single video, probably within about 40 minutes time. So, when we come back, that's what we're going to be doing, and we are going to be getting the second worst ending of the game. Do you guys feel like I'm forgetting anything? I feel like there's just some loose end, and it's right on the edge. I feel like I could just reach out and grab it. But it's just slipping my grip completely. Whatever, I'm sure I'll remember it in due time. As always, hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope to see you next time. Until then, though, goodbye.
I don't dispute the doubts you've outlined, but it's my right to waste your time.